Hey y'all, AKC here, and today I am back with another review. And this time I'm reviewing an album that I wanted to review, but I didn't know if you guys would be interested or not. But I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna do it. In fact, I actually tweeted about this, like, hey, should I review this album? One person was trolling me, and two other people liked the things. So I figured that they actually probably wanted it. So I'm going to review it anyways. So this is Only Before Cuban Linx, obviously by Raekwon of Wu-Tang Clan fame. Well, he's a member of Wu-Tang Clan, and I would say one of the best members of Wu-Tang Clan. This album came out around the time when they released their debut. After they released their debut, 36 Chambers, you already know, incredible album, amazing masterpiece, pretty much a masterpiece, absolutely insane album. Everybody kind of just started releasing their own little stuff, and this is one of the results. This is Only Before Cuban Linx, a concept album about two drug dealers doing their last drug deal before quitting, being drug dealers and everything. It's a very interesting album concept, and I actually really like it. Now, actually, I tried to listen to this last year, but I guess I wasn't in the mood or something because I thought I didn't like this. I thought this wasn't a good album or something. I don't know why, but you'll see that now. I don't think that. Yeah, so let's get right into the right into the music as a whole. There's a very interesting thing with this concept. I think most of the time he stays on topic, like on Knuckleheadz, Knowledge God. He stays on the story on Knuckleheadz, like on songs like Knuckleheadz, Knowledge God, Criminology. I would say Rainy Days is still pretty topical to the story. Can It All Be So Simple? Crazy remix. It's like a completely different version. It's darker, it's more aggressive. Ghostface, Killa, and Raekwon sound extremely angry. I don't say extremely angry, but they sound really angry on here. Now it makes sense since somebody on the skit before the song starts got shot and everything. No wonder it would be super bad. I would say Glaciers of Ice, Spot Rusherz, and like Wu-Gambinos, and even Heaven and Hell, the closer, they all relate to the story, but there are some parts of the album where they just don't for some reason. Like on Guillotine, it kind of just sounds like them rapping for fun. They just kind of just like, I don't feel like doing the story. It seems like Raekwon's the only really dedicated one. Everybody does truly feel like a guest verse. Only Raekwon and Ghost are really the ones going along with the story. For example, Knuckleheadz having a very militia type beat, in the fact that it's very much a Wu-Tang type beat. Sounds almost exactly like a 36 Chambers beat, except it's less gritty and grimy. It's just a really, like, I don't know, foot thumping beat, I guess. Like I said, Raekwon and Ghostface Killah do a pretty well job, kind of just automatically just showing what this album's going to be about drug dealing, it's going to be police, shootings, guns, violence, all that. You guys does a pretty well job, actually. I feel like it doesn't really hold up to Ghostface Killah and Raekwon, but he's definitely not the strongest member of Wu-Tang Clan, but he definitely shows that, oh yeah, this is a Wu-Tang Clan member. Even the weakest members are still pretty quality rappers. We have other songs like Knowledge Guy, very cool song. I love the beat. It's so like sinister in a way. The way how it goes from with the piano and everything. It's a very it's a very sinister but also like triumphant type of beat. Very fun song. I think Raekwon does a really well job on it. I say we remember Criminology. On this, like, these first three tracks, all the tracks are good, especially Criminology. After the first, I would say out of the first three tracks, Criminology is definitely the best one. Purely because the beat is like absolutely insane. It has like this triumphant sounding trumpet at the beginning, but then it also goes into like this weird like I don't know, video game pickup sound. I don't really know what it is. But it's a very, very interesting beat, very good beat, and it's super fast paced. It's just goes on and talks about like the drug deals that they're doing, and that's pretty much the first couple of songs on here. It just talks about what they're doing. They're drug dealing. It very obviously says that they're drug dealing, and they're going through stuff. Then it goes to Rainy Days, and I think this is where the album starts to pick up, because before this, all the songs are kind of dragging, not in the bad way. Like I said, they're all like really great songs. But after Incarcerated Scarfaces, you can kind of feel the length of Incarcerated Scarfaces, which again, by the way, very good beat by RZA. Rainy Days is completely different with a singer named Blue Raspberry. I would say absolutely kills it on some parts, but I feel like her singing is kind of flat. But in some ways, the beat kind of complements her kind of like ups her singing in a way. Her singing is not bad. I just think it sounds flat. Maybe it's just because of the way how the beat sounds, but I wouldn't say it's not bad, but it doesn't hurt the song either. In fact, I think it helps the song. I just wish it was a little bit more emotive. It sounds kind of generic, I guess. You know what I mean? But this one kind of just talks about how, well, basically why they're doing this, and the Rainy Days, basically saying the bad times within the hood and everything, with where they live in, and how you know, different people they have to resort to these different things of getting money and everything. This is actually a pretty conscious song, actually, and I really like that. And I like how the Blue Raspberry sings about, hey, I've lost my man to the street life, all the shooting and everything, and I bet that's how that feels when you have a significant other or a loved one in that type of environment. Very good song. I think it's a very good song, and the beat is otherworldly. Like, this sounds completely out of place from the album, honestly, but it's still kind of in place of the album. It's like this weird horror type of sample type beat, or like these weird glitchy sounds. Like, okay, this is gonna be a very weird reference. Some of you probably know about this, but you know, when Pokemon Gold and Silver, like when you have like when like you're into that certain place, and like, you know, the unknowns start making that noise on the telephone or whatever. I'm pretty sure you guys have no idea what the freak I'm talking about, but look it up, and that's what reminds me on the song, and it makes the song sound really creepy, which I think is RZA's direction, and I really like that. As you can tell, I really like the song, and same thing with Guillotine. It's kind of just like a constant attack from Raekwon, Ghostface, Killa, Jizza, and of course Jizza and Masta, Killa, and Inspectah deck. Everybody is on the exact same level. I would say Jizza, even for having such a short verse, just absolutely kills it. He just murders it. Even when he only has honestly a couple of lines, but like he just murders it. Like his like freaking opening verse. Like just his rhyme scheme is like so effortless. It's so good. Then I already talked about Can It All Be So Simple. Ice Water is a very interesting song. It kind of introduces me to Cappadonna in a way. I've already heard of them, but this is kind of like almost, I feel like, a proper introduction, honestly. And yeah, I think it's pretty alright. I think the sample's pretty alright. I think the only reason I don't like this track as much is because it doesn't follow the story as much as I want it to. And I think the beat is, like I said, all right. I think the vocal sample in the back can get kind of repetitive. But other than that, I feel like there's still ways that RZA just manipulates how it sounds and everything. The Glaciers of Ice is the next track, and it's one of the few tracks where like there's like actual like action happening. You have like this really fast paced, anxious type of beat. But like these random vocal samples, which I'm pretty sure is Blue Raspberry just going insane or something. Like it's a pretty crazy track, and I love like the idea of companionship throughout the track and everything. I think what was it, Masta, Killa, and Ghostface, Killa, and Raekwon all do an incredible job, considering that they have such compact verses with so much stuff in them. It makes me think it's a posse cut. Like there's multiple rappers. It makes me, I was like, every time I listen to this rap, it sounds the song. It sounds like there are like 5 rappers on it, but there's only like 2, and there's only like 3. But they made a way so they could fit all the verses in there so well that it makes it sound like that. Very good track. Verbal Intercourse with Nas, Ghostface, Killa, and Raekwon. Do I think you have to say anything about this track? This already sounds incredible. I think the vocal sample again is not really in my style. I don't like how repetitive it is, but Nas absolutely blows it out of the water. Ghostface Killah again absolutely blows it out of the water, but this time I think Raekwon kind of lax. I don't know why. I think at the beginning of his verse, he was kind of keeping up with everybody's, mood and style. Even Ghostface Killah, he's a way more hardcore rapper, but he was able to keep up with Nas's rhyming and really compact rhyming. Raekwon kind of just falls off near the end. Still a great song though. Then we go to Wisdom Body. And this is just again like another one of those random songs that have pretty much nothing to do with the story for real. They have nothing to do with the story for real. Like, it's kind of just Ghostface Killah finding a woman. He's like, oh, nice. She looks good. He gets the girl. Bam, that's the whole thing. But like, he says it in such a playful way. And I love like the little sample that they use. I can't help but love it. There's nothing really to hate about the track for real. Then we have Spot Rusherz, and this is like kind of like a direct storytelling track from Raekwon. Basically talking about kind of like talking about like a freaking deal or something that has happened. Like there's like shootings going on and everything. Pretty much like the whole album. But I think I just pulled out his storytelling on there. It's very vivid storytelling. It sounds like he was actually there when it happened. For all I know, it probably was. Then we have Ice Cream, which has such a tragic sounding beat. Or for such a... it's so dumb. Because it has such a tragic and like intense beat for rapping about women and similes of ice cream. I mean, not similes, but in place of ice cream. It's like black women are chocolate deluxes and Puerto Ricans are like pecan or stuff. I don't freaking know. It's such a silly song, but like you can tell that they're having fun on them. Fun on it. It has nothing to do with the story, but the beat is good. All the rapping is good. Cappadonna has a great line at like what was it? It was called like I love my girls like I love my dick size or something. Hey, whatever. Good for him. Then we have Wu-Gambinos, and this is kind of like the like I would say the climax of the story. After Ice Cream and like Wisdom Body, you can kind of tell for like they were kind of like going off. They were kind of going out the story bit of the album, but it comes back and like this kind of like tragic climax and ending all in one, and kind of just talks about freaking them doing their basic, I'm guess their final deal, and how intense this is. Obviously it went wrong and something bad happened, and I love how the beat is super tragic and everything. It's definitely a highlight on the album. I think everybody does a good job on the track except for RZA. I think his verse is okay. Maybe I just expected it to be better, but I think it just kind of confused with GZA because GZA is known as the good rapper and not RZA. I don't freaking know. He was all right, but I don't think he definitely didn't hold up against Ray, Ghost, and Masta Killa. Then we have Heaven and Hell, which kind of serves as like a conclusion / epilogue / falling action of Wu-Gambinos, and it does a pretty well job. Kind of just talks about the aftermath of everything. I'm gonna guess the deal was successful, and I mean the deal was successful, and after that they're kind of just like fucking sucks. Life sucks. Urban like the hood and everything sucks. There is no heaven because we're already living in hell. Where will we go? It's basically kind of like a really pessimistic ending, but like has a very soulful and uplifting beat. It's a very good conclusive song. It doesn't really stack up with Wu-Gambinos or Spot Rusherz in my opinion or anything like that. or the first 7 tracks of the album, but it's still a very good closer. And it can definitely get stuck in your head. It's a very good closer. Then we have a bonus track, North Star Jewel. It's all right. I don't really count bonus tracks really that much into the ranking, the rating of the album. Maybe I should. But overall, very good album. Very, very good album. A lot of good rapping. Pretty good production choices. Not as good as it was on 36 Chambers, but they're still very good. It still very much fits the mood of the album. Everything, the production on here is definitely a lot more theatrical, which you can definitely tell. And he does a really good job with that. RZA is like almost obviously like a master producer up in here. And he knows what the heck he's doing. And I like how everything is sequenced. I just wish he stayed on track on some of the songs on some of the songs they were trying to keep on the story. Other than that, I would say like a strong 9.5. There's not a bad track on here. There's just like a couple of gripes I don't like. Highly recommend this album. Obviously, there's a couple of little words that are just not cool. There's a couple of F slurs in there, but like it's a hip hop album from the 90s, so don't get too bothered by it. Other than that, yes, it's actually very good. Check it out. Strong 9.5.